Hello traders, and welcome back here in a new video. Today guys, I'm gonna show you as always the best pairs that I chose for next week to trade. Next week guys, I think that's a very nice week. Finally, I think that I will make some good profits. My goal next week is to make a 1 to 3 risk to reward, so 1 to 3 on the live account. This will mean 1,500 euros. So we will see what the next week brings us. So guys, let's start with the video with the first pair, which is CAD JPY. CAD JPY, I had it even last week. Last week didn't play out in my favor, so markets last week were really slow. So we will see this week what the markets can give us. The weekly time frame now is back at the area of interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, using it as a support and resistance multiple times. We are back. We are also back at the previous structure point on the weekly time frame, and we are bullish on the weekly time frame. So let's write that we are bullish on the weekly time frame here. Then guys, the daily time frame, how is it? The daily time frame is very bullish, and it looks like we are creating daily bullish. It looks like we are creating the higher low, because markets go in higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, or if the market is bearish, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and so on and so forth. So right now we are at this point here. So we are at this point here, which looks like we are creating the potential higher low to then create a new higher high. So that would be the target for the next week, creating the higher high on the daily time frame. And the same area of interest that we had on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame is like this. So a better area of interest. So the 4 hour right now it's bearish. What I will wait for this one here to do is to have a further break above this area of interest here, so something like this, to then have the retracement to then buy and head to the upside. I believe it's a pretty easy trade set up for the next week. It's very high probability, so I think that this one here will be my first trade this month, so my first trade in October, and I believe that I will win this trade. So my first target will be this zone here, which is a zone of resistance, support on the daily time frame. Look, resistance, support, resistance, and maybe with this time we can use it once again as a resistance. So that would be my target on CAD JPY. So guys, I really believe that I will take this trade during Asia session, right before London session opens. And guys, I use a nice app to check all these things on my iPhone that you can use even on your Android, and the app is called Market Countdown, but we'll see more about it later. So that was CAD JPY. Simply a break, further break, retest, and then buy, maybe tomorrow before London session, as I just said. The second pair is GBP USD. GBP USD on the weekly time frame, we are bearish. So we have lower high, lower low. We are in between this range, so we are still bearish. We have this nice area of interest here on the weekly time frame with 1, 2, 3 touches, using it as a support and resistance. So it's a nice area of interest on the weekly, sorry. Now on the daily time frame we are bearish, with this one being the lower high and this one being the lower low. It looks like we are creating the pattern that I showed you guys before, made of lower highs and lower lows. So it looks like right now we are creating the lower high to then continue to create new lower low. So that is my target for the next week. We can see that price last week, the last day of the week, so Friday, closed like a doji, rejecting the email, rejecting the previous structure point, and rejecting this new area of interest here. So what I will wait for this one here to do is simply to have a break under the 4 hour EMA, the 4 hour previous structure point, the area of interest, okay, retest to then take the sell to the downside. Very simple trade setup, because I really like how last week closed like this rejection candle here. So the next week I believe that this will go to the downside. So as I just said, break, retest under this area of interest to take the sell to the downside. I will target maybe not down there, but maybe down here, so the daily zone here. So that would be my first target, but price can even go down there if it wants to. So that will be my first target, the 1 to 2 risk to reward. This one here, I believe, will be ready even tomorrow morning, right? Like CAD JPY during Asia session, right before London session opens. So this one here, pretty nice trade setup. We will see what happens tomorrow. So that was GBP USD. Now let's see something very similar to GBP USD, which is another USD pair, but Euro USD. So Euro USD on the weekly time frame I counted as bullish, because this is the higher high and this is the higher low, so we are still between in this range, so I counted as bullish. Then we have this nice area of interest here on the weekly time frame with 1, 2, 3 and 4 touches, using it as a support and resistance multiple times. The daily time frame is very bearish. It looks like we are creating the same lower high as on GBP USD. Last week we rejected this area of interest here, so what I will wait for is the lower high on the 4 hour time frame to then take this trade. So right now the 4 hour is bearish, we had this push to the downside. I will wait for the lower high to take this sell to the downside and target this zone here, which is a double bottom. So I will target that zone there. So that is my analysis on Euro USD. I believe it's pretty simple. What I like about this one here is the daily head and shoulders pattern, which is this thing here, left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. We are retesting this whole pattern, as you guys are seeing. We are retesting this pattern here, this here, we are retesting it. We rejected it last week, so a little bit I will wait for the little retracement on the 4 hour to take this sell to the downside. This one here makes a lot of sense as well. This I will wait for them, as I said before, some push to the upside here, then the shift of structure on the 30 minutes time frame to then take this trade to the downside. Very high probability trade setup, and we are ready. So CAD JPY, GBP USD and Euro USD, which are some very high probability trade setups, which I didn't see in a long time, guys, because I'm not taking a winning trade for a long time, so I miss winning trades. So the next week hopefully is the week for the comeback, so we will see what happens in the next week. So my big three for the next week are the first three pairs, and then I have AUD CAD and GBP AUD. Let's see those as well. So AUD CAD on the weekly time frame, we are bearish. 2 weeks ago closed like a big bearish engulfing that turned this market into a bearish market. The daily time frame, it's bearish as well, with this one being the lower high and this one being the lower low. It looks like we are creating the lower high to then create a new lower low. Very nice. For our time frame, it's bearish. Right now we will wait for the rejection candles from this area here to sell. But what is this area? So let's analyze the weekly time frame a little bit. So this area is a nice, very nice zone of support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. And now what I'm waiting for this area of interest here to be used as a resistance. So also, what do I see on the weekly time frame is this nice pattern here, which is the double top formation. You see that price reached this top here, couldn't break it, so it pushed back down here. So as you guys know, in the double top pattern, which is something like this is the double top pattern, what we wait for this pattern here, to wait for the break under this zone here, which is this thing here. This is the double bottom neckline, if you want to call it like that. So we are at that neckline there. So right now we are gonna sell, in my opinion, because it makes a lot of sense to be taken here. So as I said, guys, I will wait for the shift of structure here on the 1 hour or the 30 minutes time frame to take this trade, because it has the weekly bearish, the daily bearish, the 4 hour bearish. We will see when the lower time frames will turn bearish to take this trade to the downside. Very, very, very high probability trade setup. I really like this double top on the weekly, this bearish engulfing pullback to then continue heading to the downside. I believe the next week the weekly can go and touch the EMA, so maybe we can get a 1 to 3 if we want to, but let's stay conservative on this one here because it's not as clean as the first three. So let's see if you can get at least a 1 to 2. I will take just one trade in a week if I take a good trade. If I take just a losing trade, I will take another trade to try to recover that loss. So that was AUD CAD. Now let's see GBP AUD, which I'm not that interested like I am in the first three, as I said. So weekly time frame is very bullish. Higher high, higher low. We have been bullish for a long time on GBP AUD. We have this nice area of interest used as a support, resistance, support. So it's a nice area of interest, and it's also a recent area of interest here on the weekly time frame. The daily time frame, it's bullish, as you guys are seeing, and the same area of interest on the weekly here is even better with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 touches if you want to count this one here as well, but let's say 8 touches. So it is a nice area of interest, because the areas of interest with more than 3 touches, so 3 plus touches, are good areas of interest. So support and resistance zones. So this one here make the most sense. And where do you find these areas of interest? You find them on the weekly and on the daily time frame. Nothing under these two here, because if you take them on the weekly and the daily, they will most likely play in your favor. So this concept here, guys, is very, very key with this strategy. So if you came at this point in the video, you have some free value, because guys, you always look for areas of interest with 3 more touches on the weekly and on the daily. And this one here has multiple on the daily and 1, 2, and 3 on the weekly. So it's a very, very, very nice area of interest on the weekly and the daily time frame. So it means that it has a high probability. So now let's see what I will wait for this one here to do. As I said, the daily is bullish. The same area of interest is used as a support multiple times. So right now I'm gonna wait for it to be used as support once again. The 4 hour will turn bearish once it comes down here, but I don't care that much, because the main 2 time frames are bullish. So retest to this zone, shift of structure on the 1 hour or the 30 minutes time frame to take this trade to the upside. A 1 to 2 here is very wanted and most likely will play out in our favor. So a 1 to 2 is the most conservative thing that we can do, because we have some zones of resistance and support at the 1 to 2, as you guys are seeing. So that would be my first target, and I also think that that will be my final target, because it's not that high probability as the first 3. So guys, for the next week, as I said, the first 3 will be the ones that actually are worthy to trade. CAD JPY, GBP USD, and Euro USD. Hopefully you guys understood my analysis on these markets here. If you don't, make sure to comment down this video, because if it's still Sunday, I will most likely respond to the comments. Even if it's Monday, but ask me something on Monday, price already moved, so maybe you will miss some things, so it's better for you to ask me now. Remember guys, when I talked about the sessions, Asia session, London session, if you don't know when one session opens or in what session you are in, I have an nice app which works perfectly for our strategy, because also it shows you the news events. So the red folder news, which are the ones that actually in profits sometimes they can flag you, so they can remove the trade from your history. So the profits that you make with this trade, they won't count it because it's a trade that you took during a red folder news event. Sometimes is bad. So if you wanna know whenever a red folder news is activated, you can use this nice app that I'm showing you right now. And it has a 1 month free trial. So right now I'm gonna show you guys on my phone this app here, because it's very useful and it's free for 1 month. So guys, here we are on my phone and I'm gonna show you how to use the app. So the app is this one here, market countdown. This one here. So guys, as you are seeing, whenever we open the app, we are seeing the session that we are in. As of right now, all the markets are closed because it's Saturday here in Italy, and I'm gonna show you an example this week on my Telegram channel, so please make sure to watch it. So here you see all the sessions. You can see whenever a session opens. So right now Sydney is closed, Tokyo is closed, we will see Tokyo soon. Then whenever London opens, it will say open. Whenever New York opens, it will say open. So whenever we click on a news, we can see the news events that will occur during that session. Even when we go to the London session, we can see the Euro. On the New York session, we can see the CAD JPY, the USD, which is a red folder news. And talking about red folder news, which are the ones that are the most important for us traders, you can see them on the right here, or without opening the app, using your widgets. So right here you can see all the news events that are occurring soon without even opening the app. So you can modify however you want those widgets. So let me add another one. So let's make an example. So add widget, you go to the app, here it is, market countdown, you add the widget. You can add this one here for the London session, you can add this one for the news, which is the one that I have, or you can add this one here with more news. This one is even better in my opinion, so yeah, but I have the other one. So this was the app. Let's get back to the video, and make sure to download it with these QR codes or with the link in the description. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to download the app with these QR codes here that are shown on the screen. It helps the channel and it also helps you guys, because it's really useful. Trust me, use the different widgets that the app lets you create. If you are on iPhone, it's even better, because with the new iOS 26, the widgets are so beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, leave a comment. If you're not yet subscribed, subscribe. The next week we have some very nice pairs, so hopefully we can win and make some good money after a long time that I haven't made anything. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye guys, have a nice weekend and have a nice trading week. See you on my Telegram channel. Bye guys.